The Lumix S1Rii Mark II versus the Blackmagic PYXIS. Well, before we even get into reviewing these two cameras and pitting them up to each other, I do want to say these are definitely two completely different cameras with completely different target audiences. The Lumix S1Rii Mark II is more designed as a hybrid camera that focuses on photography and for photographers, but also has amazing video specs and features like 8K and 6.4K open gate. Meanwhile, the Blackmagic PYXIS, on the other hand, is a box camera that is designed for filmmakers. At the end of the day, it is not a photography camera, it's not a hybrid camera, it's meant for cinematographers and filmmakers. So why even make this comparison in the first place? Now, to be honest and frank, as a person who loves the Lumix cameras and loves the ecosystem, me, myself, and I bet a lot of other Lumix fans are honestly just waiting for that box style camera that has everything that has that Lumix magic inside those cameras. But the Blackmagic PYXIS has been looking tempting. It's that box design, it's L mount, it's full frame, it has a ton of great bells and whistles. But since the Lumix S1Rii Mark II came out, maybe that can tide us over until we get some type of box cinema camera from Lumix. So here's the comparison. And a quick thank you for Storyblocks for sponsoring today's video, but more on them later. Now let's jump into the price. Both these cameras are coming out around a very similar price. The Blackmagic PYXIS is coming around $3,000 and the Lumix S1Rii Mark II is coming around $3,300. But you also do get DaVinci Resolve Studio with the PYXIS when you buy that. So you also kind of get a free $300 software when you purchase a camera, or really almost anything from Blackmagic. Now, talking about the physical design of both these cameras, the S1Rii Mark II is definitely a hybrid camera with still tons of professional features like a front record button. You have the free tilt camera that tilts up, tilts down, tilts out. You also have tile lights and different things like that. Meanwhile, the PYXIS camera is designed as a filmmaker cinematography camera. It is a box design with a fixed side monitor. You have all your buttons and controls on the left side, but right out of the box, you can use the Lumix S1Rii Mark II. Meanwhile, on the Blackmagic PYXIS, it does require you to rig it up, pit accessories, pit some monitors on it, and do different things like that. It's not really a pro or a con for either of these. Again, they're just different cameras for different target audiences. Since Lumix doesn't have its own Lumix RAW inside the S1Rii Mark II, and the Blackmagic does have RAW capabilities with B-RAW, I thought it was interesting to see what the different record times on a 1TB CF Express Type B card for both these cameras. So for open gate and 6K on both these cameras, for the PYXIS shooting in a Q5 or in the 12:1, it's able to get 3 hours and 37 minutes of record time on a 1TB hard drive. Meanwhile, on the S1Rii Mark II, you can get up to 7 hours and 10 minutes on open gate. It's worth saying the Lumix cameras are not in shooting in a RAW format at this point. It is only shooting in a long GOP or all intra, but specifically in open gate, it's shooting in long GOP and a 422 or a 420 10-bit format on the camera. So you do get flexibility in your colors. Your colors still will turn out really nice on that camera, but you're not getting that flexibility to changing your ISO or your white balance in post when you're shooting in open gate on the Lumix S1Rii Mark II. Now, going down into more recording times in 4K, this was also interesting. Again, no RAW capabilities here, but the PYXIS is going to be in 8 hours and 28 minutes with RAW capabilities and flexible changing. There is a crop on the image still. And then the S1Rii Mark II, though, it's getting 14 hours and 33 minutes. So literally double the time of recording when shooting on the Lumix S1Rii Mark II. But here is kind of the big kicker. The Lumix S1Rii Mark II does have a ProRes RAW option internally on the camera. It's shooting in 5.8K, only in 24 and 30 frames a second at the current moment, and it is a pixel by pixel crop. But for 1TB, this is normal RAW, not RAW HQ, but for 1TB, you get 40 minutes and 33 seconds. And then if you want to do RAW HQ, you're getting around 27 minutes of record time for 1 TB. Meanwhile, of course, yes, this is a higher quality level of RAW, but meanwhile on the Blackmagic PYXIS in 6K open gate and 6K, you're still getting, 3.5 hours of record time. So you're getting a significant amount more record time on the Blackmagic PYXIS with RAW capabilities. But if you don't need RAW capabilities, you get way more record time and still really high quality footage on the Lumix S1Rii Mark II. But if RAW capabilities is important to you, well, that's something worth noting. Now let's dive into image quality. And as we do that, here is a quick A and B test and also the sponsor of today's video, Storyblocks. Storyblocks is the place to get unlimited downloads of high quality media for one predictable subscription price. This includes 4K and 1080 videos, music, sound effects, templates, images, and really so much more. Also, with more and more AI generative images and videos, Storyblocks is taking their stand and making sure that they're using authentic artists to create their content, not just AI. With Storyblocks stock collections, it celebrates human experiences, focusing on capturing stories and emotions that AI really just can't generate. And it's clear-cut licensing, making sure that you guys stay protected at the highest level of legal coverage. Anything you download from Storyblocks is 100% royalty-free, so you can focus on creating. And to get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head over to storyblocks.com/Matthew Dangyou, or you can just click the link in the bio. And again, thank you Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it. Shifting gears a little bit, I do love the Lumix menu system a lot, but the PYXIS menu system is also really, really good. Being able to kind of easily navigate the PYXIS menu with not a ton of Blackmagic experience besides using the Pocket 4Ks back in the day, it was really easy figuring out how to use your different settings. It is worth noting, if this is your first time going to more of a box style camera, there is definitely a couple extra steps on doing things. For example, simply by plugging in an audio port, you do need to switch your audio input settings on the PYXIS. Meanwhile, on the S1Rii Mark II, it's basically automatic. You plug in your XLR2 unit, you have 32-bit flow audio, and you can plug in XLR cables. If you want to plug in a 3.5mm microphone, plug it in, your camera is going to automatically detect it on the S1Rii Mark II. On the Blackmagic PYXIS on that side, if you want to plug in a 3.5mm microphone, you're going to have to make sure that you change your left and right channels to that 3.5mm microphone. You have to do a couple more extra steps in getting the final or similar product at the end of the day when you are shooting on the PYXIS. There's a couple other things I could definitely dive into, talking about how the S1Rii Mark II has IBIS, meanwhile the PYXIS doesn't, and different things like that. But honestly, at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning of this video, these are just two different cameras for different target audiences. If you are still needing a hybrid camera that does amazing photos and amazing videos, you need autofocus, you need IBIS, or you want those features, well, the Lumix S1Rii Mark II is just gonna make way more sense. But if you've been desiring having a box style camera, especially from Lumix, but trying to find something that fits that need right now, well, the PYXIS could be that. There's no IBIS, this is a stripped back camera, and it's honestly really, really good. There's definitely a lot of different pros and advantages of both of these cameras depending on how you look at it. Personally for me, I edit on Final Cut Pro. I'm more of a fan of the Lumix ecosystem as a whole. I can totally be tithed over until Lumix comes out with the box camera with the Lumix S1Rii Mark II, but that's honestly just my personal preference and opinion. Anyways, I would definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Lumix S1Rii Mark II versus the Blackmagic PYXIS. Which camera do you think personally you would want to see in your own workflow? Are you looking for more of a box style cinema camera or something that's a little bit more hybrid with both photo and amazing video features? If you guys are interested in seeing my review on the Lumix S1Rii Mark II versus the S5 IIX, check out that video right there. YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Until next one guys, peace.